Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. My name is Stuart. In today's lesson, we're looking at words we use in English to talk about tourism. Let's go to the intro. Now, the key word of today's lesson is this one here, which is tourism. And tourism obviously is an enormous industry for many countries, especially in Europe, Spain, France, England, Italy, obviously, the USA, all countries that have big tourism industries or tourism sectors. And many people nowadays are employed in this particular sector. So we'll have a look at some of the key words that we use in English to talk about this topic. Now, there are many words. So this is only a small snippet of some of the words that you can use, but hopefully these words will come in handy for you when you want to talk about this topic. So let's begin. Now, when we talk about tourism, obviously we talk about tourists, okay? Pronunciation, tourists. And we talk about touristic places, okay? Tourists and touristic places. We can also use this word here, which is touristy. Now, touristy has a little bit of a negative meaning. So, for example, if you go to the center of Paris, if you go to the center of Madrid, the center of London, it's very touristy, okay? It lacks authenticity. That's the difference between these two words. So a touristic place or a touristy place, meaning that it's a little bit, when you go to a place like Rome or Venice, there's specific places that are massified with tourists. So a little bit touristy. And a tourist trap, meaning that tourists are normally charged extra money for things, again, lacking in authenticity, a tourist trap. And there's many tourist traps around Europe especially, and other big cities where tourism is very important. Now, tourism, we talk about seasons. We talk about the high season or the peak season. Normally in Europe, that would be the summer months. We talk about the mid-season, which are normally the months leading up to summer. And we can talk about a low or off season, meaning the period of time when there are less people visiting a country or a place, the low or off season. Now, nowadays, there are many different types of tourism. So some of the examples that I have here. Now, there are many, so these are just some of the common ones. For example, ecotourism, cultural tourism, culinary or food tourism, extreme tourism, religious tourism, enotourism, medical tourism, rural tourism, and space tourism. Now, ecotourism, obviously where you go to a place respecting the environment. Cultural tourism, you go looking for cultural activities, visiting monuments and other things along those lines. Culinary or food tourism, perhaps you plan to visit 20 of the best restaurants in a country, food tourism. Extreme tourism, maybe you want to jump off a mountain or you want to try some other type of extreme sport, extreme tourism. Religious tourism, you go to visit a religious site that is important for whatever reason. In Europe, places like Fatima or Lourdes or maybe even Rome can be religious tourism. Enotourism, where you go on a tour of different wine areas, vineyards, etc. Medical tourism, common nowadays, people going to countries for medical issues, or perhaps to have an operation, or perhaps you want to do it in a cheaper country. You go for medical tourism, dentists in Bali, for example. rural tourism, where you go to a country area and you explore nature. And of course, one for the future, space tourism. Space tourism. I don't think it's available yet, but there were a few people talking some years ago about possibly offering the opportunity to visit space. Space tourism. Now, different types of tourism that you can have as an individual or a group or a family. Homestay, where you go to a country and stay in somebody's home. Self-catering, where you go to a place and you have a house with a kitchen and all of those facilities where you can self-cater, you can cook your own food. Fly drive, you fly to a place and then you hire a car and you spend the rest of the time driving around the country. In Australia, some people do a fly drive option. Full board, if you go to a hotel or a hostel, and full board, meaning that all of your meals are included in the price. Half board means that you have a choice of lunch or dinner included as well. All inclusive, meaning that everything is included. You go to a resort and your drinks, your food, all of the activities are included. That's all inclusive. And a package tour, also quite popular. A package tour where, again, everything is taken care of. Your accommodation, your flights, your visits, everything that you do on that trip is included in the price of the package tour. Now, tourism nowadays can mean weekend tourism, for example. You can have a getaway, a short getaway for the weekend. Perhaps it's a long weekend that you need to get away for the long weekend. Maybe it's a bank holiday or a public holiday or a national holiday, you can say as well. Maybe you want to get away for a dirty weekend with your partner, with your husband, your girlfriend, boyfriend. You want to get away for a dirty weekend, so you go to a hotel somewhere in a romantic location for a dirty weekend. And a mini break. Maybe you take a couple of days off during the week and you extend it with a weekend and you have like a mini break. No, not a long holiday, just a mini break, okay? So all of these words we can use in English to talk about tourism. Now, thank you very much for watching the lesson. Questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it on social media if you want. I'll see you in the next English video lesson. Have a good day. Bye.